Hello, every pony, and welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to check out all the fanfics that are not pony related. Why? Because I'm suffering through Mykin right now, and it's well. Welcome to another year of the show, and wait. My side for easier. What is it, Trixie? Trixie just realized that we have had a whole bunch of new fans come in over the course of the past year, and our fan base has nearly tripled. True. And many don't even know why Fandom Fridays exists, or why we're here. Since it's about 4 years, why don't you tell them all about us? Oh, okay. Fandom Fridays is a part of the show where, instead of doing the pony fic that we do, of course, across the week, I proceed to go to a fanfic that's a part of my fandom and start reading it to you. If you look at my blog on FemFiction, you'll see that I'm a part of a lot of fandoms. From Final Fantasy to Gargoyles to Gundam to DBZ and Sailor Moon. I'm a part of a lot of things. And sadly, there have been so many people who do live reads of pony fics that the rest of the fandoms don't nearly get as much love. What's more, if you find online that there are a bunch of other live reads of fanfics, 9 times out of 10, they're troll stuff. They're the troll fics, the people who want to show you something bad and something horrible. Like, say, for Harry Potter, it's automatically Light Immortal, or Power Rangers automatically Agony and Pink. That's not what this show aims to do. I aim to try to do on this show to look up good fanfics and deliver them to you, the viewer, and give you a demonstration of what else is out there, showing that, in spite of the fact that 90% of everything is crap, the 10% is worth dying for. Not to mention, but 90% of it is stuff being crap. That's the same thing that goes to horror films, comic books, manga, and dang near everything else. So, we here proceed to do that. That's our goal. That is our statement. Sometimes it's not always successful. And sometimes I decide to take a break from reading the good fanfics and bring out a classic bad fanfic because I get tired of seeing everybody riff on my Immortal. There are plenty of other bad fandom fanfics out there that are not just the big named ones. For instance, our first year had us deal with Victor Von Doom, who might as well be another annoying nutcase. And we also dealt with a so bad, so good fanfic called Moon Meets Dragon, which was a Sailor Moon and DBZ crossover. So, and if you ever have this strange desire to come in and view the show with me, and maybe listen to it while me, Trixie, and the rest of the people at the studio proceed to regale you with this specs, please write in the comments below. Just try to make it a fanfic you guys enjoy, and I'll try to my best to actually read it. Sometimes I won't always follow the request, but I'll try to make sure I can actually read it. And who knows? Sometimes on Sundays, we've had a special presentation where we've actually done some fanfics that we haven't gotten a chance to. For instance, if you've paid attention throughout the last few months, I had done DuckTales 20 years later, a spectacular DuckTales fanfic showing you what happened to the Disney Afternoon characters. For that, we did Kingdom Hearts, Those Without Spines, which was a great comedy. We've also done some other series like Power Rangers, Defenders of Gaia, and we also did a few Zero fics. So, sit back and relax as we proceed to regale you with a DBZ fic. Redemptions. We all know they happen. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes very, very bad. Sometimes they don't always work, and sometimes they do. DBZ has a lot of characters that some of us really wish would get redeemed, and some of them we don't. So, what happens if we took the villain we know should never ever be redeemed, Lord Frieza, and redeem him? What type of stories could be told? So sit back, relax, as we here at the Treyberry Memorial Library are proud to present The Fall of Lord Frieza by Mr. Arkham.
enjoyed The Fall of Lord Frieza by Mr. Arco. Hey, now that is a type of screen name I can get behind. Thank you. Oh, will you shut up? This is the tragedy of the tyrannical despot named Frieza. The tale of how he was made by his own foolishness. Family lost to him. How his empire crumbled before his very eyes. And how he rose above the tragedy to become a hero in the universe, and feared his visits, and spat at the mention of his name. It all began with an ironic gesture of mercy at the hands of the newest Super Saiyan, Son Goku of Earth. Please, don't let me die, Frieza pleaded, his voice cracking barely above a whisper. It all happened too swiftly. The alien emperor had been deadening his death saucers for the golden-haired Saiyan, desperately trying to bisect the monkey who had humiliated and beaten him to a pulp. Then, in his moment of blind rage, he lost his focus. His death saucer sliced off his tails, legs, and chopped off one of his arms from the elbow down. He was fading into consciousness, pain so grand that even the Frost Demon was oblivious to the destruction of Namek going around him. Goku was in turmoil. He was a kind and merciful being at heart, but the wrathful power of the Super Saiyan was trying to overtake his mind and urging him to crush Frieza's skull beneath his boot, or toss him into the hole that led to the planet's core. Please, have mercy. The despot croaked out through the pain whispers. Goku clenched his fist and spun around to face the dying Frost Demon. How many people have begged for the lives of the great, and you killed them anyway? Goku spat, Saiyan blood boiling. Voices from beyond his mortal coil urging, begging him to end this tyrant before he could harm another. Did you show me mercy when I begged you to spare my best friend Krillin? He yelled, turquoise eyes flaring with rage. Please, forgive me, gasped Frieza weakly, blood pooling from his dark lips. Goku exhaled deeply, spun around and shot a golden spear of energy into Frieza's body. The light-skinned alien's eyes popped open. For a moment he saw a golden light envelop what remained of his body before it dissipated. The pain was still grand, but none of the Frost Demon's greatest racial traits was their ability to endure. I've given you some of my own energy. You should be able to move, Goku said, as if in disbelief of his own words. Go and do as you like with it. You're on your own now. A few meters away, the ground near the mighty warriors erupted. Giant fence of lava swinging in the sky. The ground around the whole planet was being rendered apart. It seemed that the whole world would explode in under an hour. Well, Frieza had certainly underestimated the lifespan of the planet when he first launched the death ball into the core. Frieza uses his telekinesis to float off of the ground, using the fairy sign power to hold his remaining organs in place. I didn't think you would give me your key, Frieza remarked, careless shot. Goku looked stoic. You can survive in space, can't you? And get off this planet and be thankful you're alive. Frieza was silent for a moment before a smirk greased his body and through his face. The Frost Demon started laughing. Tell me this, then, little Saiyan, since you seem to have all the answers. Where you go now, there's the planet is going to be blown up. You can't survive in space like I can. You'll just die! Goku glanced back at the Frieza over his shoulder. That's true. I can't make it back to my ship in time. Shall I take yours? A smug grin graced Frieza's face. He knew full well that even if the Saiyan reached his mothership, it would be space-worthy after what Vegeta did to it. Ha! Doesn't work. Vegeta damaged it. You, the winner, will die, and I will survive. How funny! The tyrant yelled, giving a roar of laughter. Your pride has cost you. Give me your key. Goku stood silent and turned around. Before calmly, I'll survive. With that, the Super Saiyan took off into the dark skies of Namek, a golden trail of light following behind. Oh, they cut out my favorite part of the dub line when he goes, I'm going back home. I'm tired. Frieza watched his greatest foe fly off, rage swelling and burning inside him at the pain and humiliation that this Saiyan caused him. Simian bastard! Frieza growled, clenching his remaining fist. It was tempting. So tempting, he lost almost the remaining energy of the Saiyan, striking him with a sneak attack. He thought back to the earlier battle. This Saiyan had some sort of natural energy sensing ability, didn't he? He sensed this attack coming. And the Frieza's deformed and damaged state, the Super Saiyan could easily overwhelm him. Frieza had to swallow his pride and accept what he had been denying ever since Goku first transformed into a Super Saiyan. He had been bested. For now, at least. Frieza would get his body repaired and get stronger. They would slaughter the Sibian. Nobody would make a fool of the ruler of the galaxy, the lord of the Acrosian people. Wordly, Frieza let his vessels decrease in size and let his powered weighted form, which was causing him much fatigue. Then he quietly lifted his disembodied legs, arm, and tail until neck field, before starting to fly up into the dynamics upper atmosphere and into the dark void of space. At his supersonic movement speed, it would take some time, but he could make it out there before the planet exploded as far as he was concerned. He did manage to escape to outer space, turning back a few moments to admire the gaping wound his powers had left on the planet Namek. He could release the power to destroy eternal worlds as if they were delicate as cotton candy. He's still been bested by a damn monkey! A few minutes passed by in the silence of space. Minutes spent by Frieza straining the musical field containing his dismembered limbs, retreating to a safer distance from Namek. At that time he saw one of the Ginyu's attack pods fleeing the ruined world. No doubt the Super Saiyan making his escape. Much to Frieza's shock. Still, before Frieza could make any move against the attack ball, it disappeared from sight, traveling several times faster than light. Far faster than Frieza could hope to keep up with, even if he weren't so damn exhausted. He witnessed Namek's destruction with unblinking eyes. Unlike when he had destroyed Planet Vegeta all those years ago, this carnage did not make Frieza burst out in a bit of maniacal laughter. There's a simple smirk on his dark, bloodied-up lips. Then the Acrosian Lord was left alone to drift. He would try to make it to some sort of inhabited planet, but even leaving this solar system would take several days at least in his current condition. Well, he wasn't worried. Even if he couldn't make it anywhere alone, his father would likely investigate once he noticed Namek's destruction, and the fact that Frieza's mothership hadn't returned to the palace on Arcos. All he needed to do was wait, occupy his time with memories. He thought back on the legend of the golden-haired warrior, the Super Saiyan that his great-great-grandfather Chilled had illicitly been killed by. No one believed him, of course. Then he saw that tale's fiction, a dying man's fantasy. At best, all it did was a ghost story of the Cooler family. A ghost story that Frieza's older brother Cooler had endlessly tormented him about. Yes, ever since Frieza's grandfather Glacial had first led the Acrosian expedition to the planet Vegeta, and recruited them to the Planet Trade Organization. Frieza being only a young lad at the time, Cooler had fed his head with stories about how the Super Saiyan would hunt him down and kill him, just like he did to old Chilled. When her mother had been alive, she chastised Cooler heavily for trying to scare his little brother. While Frieza had pretended Cooler's ghost tales didn't bother him, it gave him deep-rooted paranoia. Then he saw the average power levels of the Saiyans rise, as he felt it was only a matter of time before an entire race of Super Saiyans rose against him. Prospect had terrified him to the point he decided to thin out the Saiyan numbers. Frieza scowled bitterly. He should have killed them all when he had the chance. And then his thoughts drifted to his mother, Queen Cold. A smile graced his lips. Not a sadistic skin or condescending smirk that Frieza would normally give off. A warm, genuine smile that those pleasant childhood memories he had. She was a fonder of diplomacy, friend Frieza's father, so she mainly stayed around the palace to raise Frieza and Cooler. He could recall her face even now. Ivory skin, purple armored plates, red biogems on her body. She was tall and lanky like Cooler, more slender than muscular, of course. King Cold always told Frieza to never take her lessons of diplomacy to heart. Always follow the Cold family policy of being right above all else. He thought back to the day she died, with Frieza and Cooler returning to the palace after spending the majority of the day sparring. Father had met them in the throne room and quietly explained how his wife had taken ill and passed on. From then on, Frieza had changed into the tyrant he was today. Only his father to mentor him and shape his view of his own life in the universe. When King Cold came to retrieve his son, Frieza had no idea just how long he had been drifted far away, among the ruins of the Namekian solar system. Days at least, with nothing but his memories and determination to keep hold of his legs and arm to keep him busy. landing around King Cole's flying saucer opened up slowly to reveal the towering monarch, arms folded over his battle armor.
Frieza, so glad to see you alive. Shame not all in one piece.
Frieza scowled at his father's joke, while the king simply tittered and let his son inside. So long as I have the body parts, they can be repaired and reattached, Frieza remarked as he floated behind King Cold. The only reason why I'm not losing at my temper at how this author currently has these paragraphs so rammed close together and that he forgot the freaking enter button is because after dealing with Micah for so dang long, I'm going to stop caring for a while. Call me in about a month, then I'll care again. 2, I actually looked ahead. This guy actually makes up for it.
Of course, son,
Coolidge replied dryly, as if only half listening.
Now, out of curiosity, just what it was that wrote you up so badly, in your most recent powerful form, no less.
Frieza inhaled slowly through his nose, then flatly stated, "It was a Super Saiyan." King Cold stopped mid-step, then his head slowly turned to look at Frieza over his brown pauldron.
A Super Saiyan? As in the old story Child had said on his deathbed?
King Cold asked incredulously. I know it's hard to believe, Father, but it's true. Things dynamic became complicated, to say the least. A group of humans got involved in a quest to get their wishes for the Dragon Balls. Vegeta turned traitor, then some of the other Saiyan survivors showed up. He seemed a bit upset when I killed his friend. The rage transformed him into a gold-haired warrior that Child was so terrified of.
Well then, it seems we'll need to teach this Saiyan a lesson,
Cold replied, opening the door to the medbay and stepping inside. The scientist present gave him a salute, and also gave Frieza a wide berth as he floated in, carrying half his body in a bubble behind him. Fix these! Frieza ordered gruffly, letting his limbs and tail hit the ground inside a medical machine with a dull plop. With that, the corrosion lord floated into the operating table and closed his tired eyes tight. It gives me temporary cybernetic body parts while they're being repaired, he added.
Meanwhile, hundreds of light years away,
General Kanchap was one of Frieza's most powerful generals, dictating operations across the North Galaxy. A Scythian in species, he stood tall at near 8 feet tall, muscular enough, his skin crimson and scaly. Wow, Micah must be hitting me hard. I didn't get mad at the word crimson. As was common in the Scythian species, his face was vaguely frog-like, with large spherical eyes atop his slightly flat head. He wore sleeveless bounty armor, black with a golden trim, with arm guards of a similar color. He wore black tight trousers on his lanky legs and had white boots that went past his ankles. Right now, the Scythian general was in the command center of the mothership of the Dark Star, looking towards the communications officer. Report! He said, his voice hard and raspy.
Lord Frieza still hasn't been 6 days since the planet's Navik's destruction. Our recon crash has sighted another planet trade ship heading to the debris field of the planet, though they couldn't confirm if they retrieved Lord Frieza or not. Getting any closer to investigate would lead them to being sighted, the officer explained. I see, Kensett replied, giving a solemn nod and rubbing his chin. Dismissed, he added, turning his attention to the galactic map, seeing just how much territory Frieza's family controlled. If Frieza's family really gone, one less member of the Cold family to worry about. I better get into contact with the other generals, though, if this rebellion has any chance of succeeding. You know one thing I love about the DBC fandom? It isn't just our tendency to talk about power levels. It isn't our tendency to talk about who's stronger or our tendency to try to argue over who could win in a fight, Goku or Superman. Psst. Here's this DBC fan's opinion. The following opinion has been cut off due to the fact that martial art user does not wish to have thousands of DBC fanboys or DC fanboys rampaging his comment section. He already has to deal enough with Mike and pounding it away every other week. Anyway, it's also the idea that we take these what-if scenarios from DBC's long and storied history and start messing around with it. I mean, good golly, even Masako has done that, and, well, as I said on his channel, yeah, the idea of Vegeta becoming a Super Saiyan on Namek first,
was already explored. It's called Deathbringer. We have done that on this channel. It was good. They also have Deathbringer Abridged. I'm very happy to say I got to do my Team 4-star voices with that one. Yeah, I can do Ghost Nappa. Vegeta. But anyway, I mean, we'll take any scenario at DBZ and explore what would happen in the alternate future and the alternate possibilities. My God, I've even gone on to a DBC fan site on back on Prima when Prima was a thing, and I've seen a ton of what if scenarios. I remember that there's a DBC fan thing where it goes, what if Vegeta landed on Dragon Ball when Bulma made her wish? Basically, the fic went like this. Bulma goes to the dragon and wishes for the perfect boyfriend to show up. Cylon goes, there's no such thing as the perfect boyfriend. Bulma then responds, then I wish for my soulmate to show up right now! Cue Vegeta! I was going to find that fic again because that's an interesting premise. How would a Red Ribbon Army arc go if Vegeta had been teaming up with Goku the entire time? But that's the way I like it about this thing. Why do we do that, though, as part of the DBZ fandom? I mean, on on Pony, we have dozens of alternate main 6. Trixie's a member of at least 3 different bands. Trixie is a character in the forest. Starlight has led a few. Hell, I'm surprised Tempest hasn't gotten her own all Team 6 yet. That seems to be our thing. But when it comes to DBZ, it's what ifs. Which makes me wonder why. Why do we do what ifs with DBZ so often? Is it because DBZ is such a high part of our childhood that by now we know the story by heart and are willing to start going, Is it because DBZ is so connected, has so many different ways and different outcomes, different characters with so many different power levels that we could say, well, what if Goku did this? Is it because we have DBZ is full of so many billions upon billions of characters that we are so curious as to see how they would do it? That is a possibility. I mean, say what you will about the usual things about DBZ and its long fights or power-ups. You cannot say that any of these characters are really flat or even just the same. No, I mean it. I mean, I've been a fan of DBZ since 1995. And I could probably go through the entire list of DBZ characters and tell you all about their personalities, their character traits, and I could probably also tell you their backstories and who each one of them are. Okay, I could also probably tell you the puns of each one of their names. Why do you think I love Dragon Ball's tournament arcs so much? Because they're wonderfully done. Namu, Lanfan, Girin, Jackie Chun, Krillin, and Goku. Those were some really interesting characters. And then we move on to the 26th Potenchi Budokai with Tien Shinhan, Chaozu, Jackie Chun, Yamcha, Krillin, Goku. There was that Bruce Lee guy and Tao Pai Pai. A positive type Tao Pai Pai was a member of that tournament. There's been so many interesting characters that I just love it. And now Super continues on to tradition with characters like Beerus and Whis and all the alternate dimensions of the other characters. I love Jiren and Hit. So I guess that's the big reason why. Dragon Ball Z is filled to the brim with so many characters. It's pony-esque in size. Grab a character, say, oh, I want to tell a story with this guy. Well, okay. And I guess that's why it lends it to so many different what-ifs. And that's what this sets up. That's what this chapter is. It's a great setup where seeing more of Freiza's potential backstory, we're seeing more of what we're given about the universe, and we're even giving more roles in the world. Well, as I always say on this show, for those of you who just tuned in, that's one down, that's four to go. I'll see you next time.